Sagittarius, it's the Nat with the Nutch Astrology Corner, and I wasn't going to do September readings because why when I duplicate my information, but I felt guided to, and so I did, because I'm like that. I'm a Gemini rising. We cannot be predicted, and that's what keeps me spicy and completely addictive, right? Anyhow, let's talk about your aspects for this particular month. This is a game-changing month. This is eclipse season, so we both know that you are very educated in the fact that you know that when we have eclipse season, dramatic changes happen. New beginnings and new endings often happen during these pivotal times. So, on the 6th, Venus goes retrograde in Leo, which is in your 9th house. And for you, this is about, I want to say that when you were a kid, it was easy for you to have an open perspective. It was easy for you to live in the moment and to experience growth, potential, and happiness. It was just so easy. You felt good. And you were simple, and you really sought a lot of enjoyment off of the very simplistic things. But as you became older and jaded and things happened and pain was caused, there is a significant amount of association with pain in your heart, pain in your soul, and pain in your mind that makes you closed off to the perspective that something could eventually end up better than you had ever anticipated. Most of what goes on in your mind. It goes on in your ego. And it makes you determined that you are never going to experience that kind of pain again. And you're very closed off in your perspectives. And when you were young, you identified yourself as very open and free-spirited, and you sought simple pleasures and things. But as you've gotten older, because of the injustice of the world around you, you've become jaded in a sense. And so there's a need to release all of that and become at peace with it. You are experiencing a great deal of growth, and that is because Saturn, the great teacher, is going to be, for the next couple of years, going into your first house. It's going to be internally growing and healing and developing a sense of control over all of these things that you've endured. And they're significant and they're life altering. And it's like you have this childlike enthusiasm and this need to progress, but there are so many things that went wrong. Love went wrong. The simple needs being met went wrong. The need for right and wrong and the accountability went wrong, and the mental anguish that went with that all went wrong. And you're seeking a reason for all of that in your faith and in accountability and in the world to acknowledge the suffering that you've endured. And this is significant. I think that this is a big deal for you. And you're wanting this to, it's not just on a you-based level. This is on a global level. This is on a overall level. Like, there's so much injustice. And there's so much deception. And there's so much heartbreak. And you feel all of these things so incredibly deeply that there's a need to get back to the basics. hold tangible things in your hand and really put value on them and really seek security in the fact that when there's great injustice, there's a balance of accountability for the people that have done these great injustices. And you're a leader. You're being molded and you're being formed, and what's happening is that you are supposed to be leading by example. But if you're so broken, and if you're still fighting your own battles, that you can't possibly understand how to lead by example when you are hurting. And so I think a lot of this stuff is very metaphysical, and it's very big, and it's very overwhelming. And this is all ninth house stuff. So this is all stuff that you seek to have to figure out, right? And that's it on the 6th. So Venus goes direct in all this. So this is about healing past wounds and healing past heartbreak and dealing with your temptations. You're very tempted for a lot of the physical payoffs, but you're wanting a deeper connection than that, and I think you know it. I think you do. I think you realize it. And you're wanting to be more simplistic, and you're wanting to lead by example. And these are all things that's going to become aware to you as of the 6th. Now, on the 12th, the new moon solar eclipse in Virgo is going to be accentuating your 10th house. And for you, this is about your new beginning, about leading by example, about healing old wounds, about showing others how to overcome stuff that hurts your heart and hurts your head and hurts your mind and pulls you back and psychologically impact yourself. You are great leaders. Many astrologers that I follow have a strong Sagittarian base. So for me, this you are setting the need for others to follow you, and you are needing. I think you need to be more vulnerable and not so strong, and not acting like it doesn't bug you. You know what? When there are great injustices, this is telling people that you're okay, and that there's an underlying purpose to all of this, and it's redefining your ego and redefining your pride and redefining how you persevere and redefining how you seek freedom from knowing that these things exist. And you're great leaders. There's something special about a Sagittarian. You know, if I look at any absolute outstanding person who is leading in the music industry, they're always Sagittarian based. So your music has words that mean a lot, and you are going to be absolutely mesmerizing for your audience. I mean, I think that you need to be role models, and you need to show people that you can persevere and that you can overcome, and that your words, your music, your song, your heart is leading by example. And that's career, life, past destiny. Your solar eclipse new moon is in Virgo, is showing others how to set a routine of persevering, of overcoming, of being vulnerable. You have to be vulnerable. You have to let people know that you have endured, and that you now seek the simple life, and that you are now tangibly profiting from that. And that, you know, this was heart-based, and it was defining as a person. And that, you know, if you look back at your past, it has something to do with your childhood. These people need to see these messages and know that you stand by them, and know that you're out there, and know that everybody is just like you, and you are leaders. Please lead. Because that's what you're put on this earth for. And that's why all of Saturn for the next couple of years is going to be in you, is to lead by example. On the 17th, Mercury goes into retrograde in Libra in your 11th house. So this is about setting new standards for your relationships. This is about communication. This is about, you know, simplifying your relationships with others. This is about showing others that you're about heart and about soul and about love and about progression. And this is not about falling into temptations and not about falling into insecurities. This is about progressive movement and balance, and sometimes letting go of the physical needs that you feel sexually for others, and then it will cause turmoil. It will cause you to regret those decisions at night, but inevitably they're for the greater good, and they're for respect, and they're for admiration, and they're for an actual physical impact on the world. Then on the 27th, the lunar eclipse is going to be in your 5th house. So this has to do with love and romance. This is simplifying the need for love and romance. This isn't about physically attaining pleasure, the temptations of the flesh. This is about a union of souls, the greater good. This is about healing psychological loss through a steady and heartfelt relationship built on trust and admiration and, you know, some tangible stability that you guys can find. This is about looking at people that you admire from your past and creating a stable simplicity from them if you were to use them as role models. And this is about seeking peace and tranquility and taking your time and seeking the reward from some simplistic type pleasures. This is a very gorgeous and transforming month for you. Mars, the planet of passion, is going to be in your 3rd house until about the 25th, and then it transfers into your 10th. And so for you, this means that there's going to be a lot of communication about simplifying your life, about creating an idealistic childhood, as far as in the fact that you want something maybe for children in your life, or you maybe want something that you remember or idealize in your life to become your current reality. This is about seeking balance and leading by example and moving forward. This is about forgetting past pain, overcoming it, and allowing the injustices to just be, you need to be at peace with them and know that there's a bigger meaning in life, not just in your life, but in somebody else's life. Those things actually happened for a reason, and you don't need to understand why or how come, because inevitably it's not about you in this scenario, if it has to do with your past. And this is about finding simplistic and absolutely beautiful pleasures in just somebody being on board with the things that you do in the peace of your own life, in the peace of your own home. And this is about opening up. This is about flourishing. This is about seeing a bigger purpose. This is about a new beginning. This is about overcoming a substantial onto this Saturn in Sagittarian concept after it's done with you. There's a bigger purpose to you. You don't quite know yet, but there's a big reason why the majority of the leaders in the astrological community are all Sagittarian. Thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I will talk to you guys again next month.